Hello and welcome to my channel where I do guides for photography. Today we are going to take a look at Sonar Photo Studio X, which is a software that's completely new to me, but it's been out quite a while, so it's just gone under my radar. I discovered this software a couple of weeks ago and I've been trying it out, doing different stuff, and I got to say right away that I do like it a lot. Now, Sonar Photo Studio X is for Windows only, but if you're on Mac, I guess you have just as good alternatives as Sonar Photo Studio X. Now, the developers are trying to do a bit of everything with this application, and sometimes that's a stupid idea. That's something that's really difficult getting to work properly, at least in my opinion. The only other software that I think are able to do this properly is On One Photo Raw, but they aren't trying to do as much as Sonar Photo Studio X are trying to do. Now let's just go through the features here. So let's start with the Create menu. So under the Create menu, you can select to create a photo book, a calendar, a canvas print, a postcard, a collage, print photos, contact sheets, and actually you can create video files as well, just by using your own images, or you can, I think you can actually edit videos as well with this feature. Let's say you're doing a screen recording and want to edit that file, you can do so probably in the video module of this software, and you can create transitions and add text, and it's pretty good actually, that module. You can create panoramas, so basically stitch photos together. You can create 3D images. You can do HDR files via exposure blending. So let's say you bracketed 3 files of the same composition with difference in exposure value. You can blend those files together and create a HDR file. You can tone map single files for HDR, and then you have a few other features actually available to you inside the Manager module, and it's pretty intelligent. I like the way you can organize your files if you're using a catalog here, and you can really go in and edit the metadata, and you can add GPS data and actually go in and view files for a specific location. So basically a map module. You can simply switch to map, and you can add different GPS data, and you can read out the information about your files, camera and stuff like that. You can change information on the thumbnail, and I gotta say this Manager module is pretty fast, but I like the intelligent way it loads previews on, or the options you have for loading previews. So right now I have previews on fast preview. That means that it's loading up the JPEG thumbnail instead of the raw file or one-to-one file. But I can simply go up here, let's mark this file, and go for full quality instead. Then this file, whenever I go into that file, will load up in full quality, so a 1:1. And I can also go on demand, only show full quality after 1:1 zoom. With multiple previews, do not load full quality automatically. So you have some intelligent options on how to load files. So that's really useful for just culling your photos. And of course you can rate your files and set colors. And I really like it. I think it works really well, the system they have for previews. And I can go over to this folder and I can actually decide that this folder, it should preload smart RAWs or 1:1 fast for undeveloped fast previews for all, so I can really decide how files in that folder should be preloaded. So let's say I'm culling a lot of photos, and the approved photos I add to a subfolder. I can decide to load that folder as full one by one, so I have no loading time when going into the pictures there. It's working really well. All right, and let's move on. So you have something called Sonar Photo Cloud, and this is where you can upload your files. I would suggest uploading JPEG files, not RAW files, because you get 20 gigabytes. And that doesn't seem like much, but it is quite a lot, because JPEG files are naturally smaller, so you can actually upload quite a few files. And then you get the calendar view, keyword view, and location view, so you can easily filter out what kind of photos you want to see. Now, you also, in addition to the cloud, you're getting Sonorama, which is your online gallery, and you get a link where you can share your online gallery page. And I tried it out and I really like it, and I even like the design, so it works very well actually. You get a way to load up your mobile photos, so if you connect your phone to your computer, you can load up the files directly through this software. You can upload, download, and arrange photos in your Facebook page. You can, of course, sync with OneDrive. You can browse the PC instead of using a catalog like I'm doing. And of course, you can browse the network if you're hosting your files on a server, for example. You can also organize the view in pretty intelligent ways. And one thing that's really awesome with the Sonar Photo Studio is that I can actually create a new tab and, for example, do a new manager tab and go into the cloud or whatever other folder I want to view. So I can view this folder, go into the subfolder, and I can load up the image, and it takes a while, and I can, for example, go back to this folder and load up this image. This is really awesome. I love this tab feature, and I especially love that you can create, for example, a new develop tab or editor tab or even a video tab. It works really, really great, and I haven't seen too many other softwares offering that, and especially not software that actually has the tab in the title bar of the application. So this is really an awesome feature. And under Organize, you of course have a ton of features there as well. I'm not going to go into that because it would take too long. This video is already getting to be a bit long. And you can batch edit Exifs, and you can batch edit files. You can copy adjustments and sync it to other files. So basically you can do most of the stuff that you can do in Lightroom, you can do here as well. Okay, so that's the manager module, and we spent quite a while in there. Let's just load up this image. And being that I have never loaded this file before, it takes a little while. Let's go into develop, and this is the default view for the develop module, but you can minimize, for example, this. And if you don't need the film strip, you can remove that as well. Let's hit the auto button, and it does a pretty good job actually, the auto button. And let's just increase the shadows or decrease the shadows. And as you can see, it's a well-known kind of layout here. You have the toning on top and the usual stuff, as you can see. But let's go quickly through the modules here. So you have the exposure control. So that's the usual stuff that you have for white points, black points, and stuff like that. Then you have the dynamic range module or tone controls, where you can control the highlights and you can control the whites. So I can compress the whites without actually changing the white point. And it's compressed it a lot, but let's compress it even more. And you should be able to see what's going on top there. So this works very well. Then you have the details where you have texture, clarity, and dehaze. And then you have the color where you have saturation and vibrance. The tone curve, and what I like about the tone curve is that you can control the luminosity only if you want to do that. So without actually affecting the color channels. And being that this is a RGB curve, that's really awesome. Then you have the color shift module, which basically is a very advanced HSL module. So you have hue, saturation, lightness, or luminance. And if you go into advanced there, we can, for example, target colors. Let's target blue up here. And we can boost the saturation for the color we targeted. Maybe we want to go down on the luminance. But as you can see, it's mostly affecting the darker blues up here, not too much of the other blues. So if we want to, we can actually extend the range of the color tone to pick up. And I can, of course, go totally crazy and you see what that does. So if I do something like that, you can see that it's affecting a lot of tone ranges here, color range. Let's reset it. And for example, go for the green tones. And I want to brighten the green tones. And I'm only affecting this and this area right now. Let's extend the range again. Whoops. Like this. And really go for a wide range here. Not the blues, but something like this. And we can see that we are controlling a wider range. And I really like this system. ACDC has this, I think Capture One has this. And it's something coming in a lot of different softwares, but yeah, it's a great feature. Then you have the split toning controls. So if I want to go for a crazy magenta-ish look here, I can do so. Let's go more over to this side. And I can boost the shadows with the complementary color, a greenish color like that. Let's have a look. This is without split toning and this is with the split toning. This also works really well. And then you have the shift primary colors. That's basically color balance. And yeah, I like to have that feature there as well. And of course you can do pretty much the same with curves, but it's great that it's there with sliders as well. So we can go through this quickly. Let's boost the blues more over to the pinkish side. And you can see that, yeah, this looks totally crazy, but you can clearly see what these shift primary colors do. So this is without and this is with. So we are really changing the image. And now over to something that I really like, and that's the noise control or noise reduction control. So we have the usual sliders here, and maybe that's something that you want to use in many cases, but in many other cases, you really don't want to use the sliders because you're blurring your entire image or softening the details in the entire image when doing this. So instead, we can actually target the color range that we want. For example, I can use this droplet tool, hit the blues up here, and you can see it changed to a black mark here. That's telling me where this blue is in this gradient here. And I can pull that up, and I'm now denoising that range. and I can actually extend the range if I want to do so. So I can place more markers in here, and I'm denoising a wider range. So this is something that I really appreciate. And it's the same, you can target luminosity instead. So a certain range of a light, a luminosity. And this also works really great. So if I use the droplet tool out here again, you can see it's placing a marker here. So almost up in the highlights. And we can pull that up. And I'm now denoising this range. And I can, for example, decrease the range if I think it's denoising too much. So a really awesome feature. Then you have the sharpness and the effects. Okay, so this is the general toning. You have gradients, so masking tools. I can, for example, place a gradient over here. Let's say I want to darken everything in front of this gradient. I can do so. Let's place this more down there. And I can do the usual toning inside here. And I can sharpen and change the colors and really go in and change it a lot. You also have the brush tool, so I can brush in and mask an area like something like this, and maybe drop the exposure, drop the lights. That's too much. And if I want to boost the saturation, I can do that. And then you have the retouch tool. So you really have a ton of features here, and I really like it. So it's a pretty good software, especially the develop module. I really like that module. And if you want to do, for example, composites or advanced masking, remove backgrounds, add new backgrounds, replace the sky, everything like that, you can do this inside the editor module. And you can add local adjustments, place an overlay. You can blend two photos of the same exposure or same composition together with different exposure. So let's say I have another photo of this composition with a darker sky where I exposed for the sky. I can simply place that over there, and I can paint out the sky in this image and get the dark sky from the other exposure. So that's really great. I love this module. It's awesome. And here you can see all the kind of different filters and effects that you can do. And yeah, it's truly awesome. Now let's go to the print module. And I'm going to go through this really quickly here. So let's say I've done a project here and I want to print it. Now I can print it on my printer, or I can actually send this file to Sonar, and Sonar will print it and send a print back to me. So if I, for example, want this format, 50 by 70 centimeters or 20 inch by 28 inch on premium paper, the price will be $15, and I simply add to cart, and when I'm done, I send that to Sonar, and I guess Sonar prints that file out and sends it back to me. And $15, that's actually quite cheap. So, of course, you can do a ton of different stuff here, and you can send that to Sonar, or you can try and print it yourself. And I guess that's it. Yeah, by the way, you actually have a video editor as well. So if I want to, for example, add 10 images that I want to create kind of a slideshow for, and I want that file to be a video file, and I can easily do that, and I can add text, I can make transitions, and I can add other video files, and I can specify the format or resolution. So it works really, really great. I've tried to do it on a few just smaller files, and I'm pretty happy about this feature. So let's do a quick summary here. This is a Windows-only software, and it's a subscription-based software costing you $59 a year, and you get 20 gigabyte photo cloud, and you get an online gallery, and you get a really awesome manager and a really awesome develop module, and an even more awesome editor module, and the print module is great, and the video module is also great, and all that for $60 a year, and I think that's really awesome. Now, some people don't like this subscription-based model, but you cannot buy this software. You have to subscribe. So if subscription-based software is not something that you like, then of course you don't want to use this product. But if you don't mind a subscription-based model, just go and try out the software. If you like it, you can subscribe. If you don't like it, you can simply ignore it forever. I do like this software a lot. I think it's really strong, and I haven't experienced any problems. It's been really fast, and there's really good guides on the Sonar homepage. So go to sonar.com and learning or discover, I can't remember. You will find guides there. You can really learn a lot by just going there, because they have photographic guides, they have a ton of guides and really a lot of content on their homepage. And they also have a few good videos on YouTube if you want to research this software more. Alright, so really thumbs up from me on this software. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to watch more from me, hit that subscribe button. And thanks a lot for watching if you made it all the way to the end. And I hope to see you again. Goodbye. And PS, I am going to make a few video guides using Sonar.